Well, I think I'm just drunk enough now, so let's get going.
Let's do it.
Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Hello.
Each week, we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners just like you.
I don't know that I like the way you said fielding.
Fielding. Oh, and then we field. Oh, Stitcher, don't listen to this.
You're behind on Doom Patrol right now, right?
Yes, I've only watched the first 4.
I won't spoil it for you, but it's kind of funny that you made that sort of voice and things this week.
Oh, really?
Because that was a big moment in Doom Patrol.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird. We got a review.
Hey,
Look at that.
we're getting there.
I'm almost there.
Yeah, we're
I'm so
getting
close.
there.
Help me get there.
We've been edging our way there.
We got another Facebook review, which I'm liking that. I like that. I mean, that it all helps.
Wherever you feel like saying something nice, we're for it.
For all of you who've already left us a review and want to double up, you go to another place. I'm
Yeah.
okay. Daddy likes any like self-acknowledgement that he can get. Like,
If you want to just like write something in like Microsoft Word and print it out and like staple it to like a poster board,
you're willing
somewhere,
to accept that as a review now?
If you staple it to a poster board somewhere in your town and take a picture and send it to us, I'll count that. I think that's hilarious if someone just put a random review of a podcast they listen to up in a public space.
I gotta get a sticker.
I think that would be really funny.
I gotta get a stickers made because I know that Stump Junkman has a habit of like taking like stickers from like the goods from the woods and like
sure.
putting it on important buildings that he shouldn't. So,
Sure.
right? So
Are we promoting vandalism?
I'm just saying that I enjoy that he does that.
Right.
I'm not saying that I'm not condoning it.
Right.
I'm just saying
neither condoning nor condemning.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, if you write something on a poster board and then staple it to like go to the university and like pin it to their like a bulletin board there.
Wear a sandwich board at a protest.
I mean, that's an extreme version, but I'll accept it. Yeah. Like go to those like anti-abortion and be like, I support abortion and Dr. DC podcast.
I mean,
or Dr. DC podcast supports abortion.
I mean, I am pro-choice.
That's what I mean.
I don't think it's different than supporting.
No, here's what it is.
As long as I don't,
Hold on.
As long as we don't get associated with the wrong side of history.
Hold on.
If you're one of those people that's trying to close down an abortion clinic, I don't want you wearing the shirt there. That's not a good review.
No.
That's like a 1-star review. Worse.
What I want you to do is go to your dollar store, get a nice colored Bristol board, get some like glittery markers, and in big letters, write Dr. DC kills babies and bring that to an abortion rally.
Jesus.
That's because we support the killing of babies. That's
Jesus.
That's what we want.
Oh my
right?
God.
Is that not what we want?
It's not what we're saying at all.
That's what we were saying.
What was the review?
Oh, I mean, does it matter? On Facebook, James Paulson recommends Dr. Disney podcast. He goes on to say, this podcast has quickly become one of my favorite of all time. He hasn't listened to this episode yet. The hosts are smart and informative on one side, and always provide
Weird that he knows us
shows.
well, despite what we publicly present.
I feel like he's quite off the mark here. The format of the show is simple to understand and quite entertaining. I also love the drops that the hosts make for all of the regular questioners.
That's also like a subtle, like, I'm a regular questioner.
Why haven't I gotten a drop? Yeah, that's a good point. We'll have a more interesting names. James Paulson.
His name was James Paulson.
What was
like his name was Robert Paulson from Fight Club.
Wow. Okay. Sure.
Oh, come on. That was fine.
You know what? Fucking 2 first names. It's not my fault. As it helps make it feel more like a community. This show has opened my eyes to a wider range of comics and sexual activities. He wrote it. It's not me. I didn't.
That's not it.
You can't say it. You don't know. And I love it for that. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
And he did.
He did. Hence the recommendation. You want to get into the news? So jarring. Oh, good thing I'm 2 gins deep.
2? When did you get the second one?
I kind of like.
Oh, were you topping
I was
yourself?
topping myself.
Yeah.
Well, because I know that, like, I know if I like go downstairs and my wife sees me fill up a whole other drink, it might be a thing. So it's easier to just like slip more in as I go.
Right.
So I drink as much as I possibly can before we head upstairs.
I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. Here on the podcast, which is free and anyone can listen to, you've made a matter of public record that you're hiding your drinking from your wife.
I mean, she'll figure it out later.
I mean, she's figured it out.
Yeah. I just meant she'll figure out how much I've drank later.
Yeah.
Why I oughta.
Better to ask forgiveness or beg forgiveness than ask permission. What's the phrase?
It's rather to beg for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing.
Sweet. What was the news?
Teen Titans Go introduced a 6th member of the team this summer.
Is this for the movie where it's Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans?
No, it's an episode. It's an episode. Yeah, it's the show.
Is the show still going?
Yeah.
Oh, and like an idiot, I thought it was done.
How many times do I have to call you an idiot today? I mean, what am I doing? I'm just gonna cut it out. So what?
No, don't cut it out. That's where we can put the ad.
No, I have to say that we're going to. They can't do it this early.
Oh, sorry. Wow.
You fucking idiot.
What, do I look like a producer?
You look like something.
It's because I'm wearing bright colors because I'm celebrating summertime.
It's so bright. You're like, also red hat and a pink shirt. What?
I don't have a pink hat.
I know, but I don't think you should match. I just think you shouldn't like be so off.
Such a fucking idiot.
Thank you. I'm glad we're on the same page.
So, who is the 6th member? Who are they adding?
Cartoon Network released a promo for the new Titan, which you can watch the video above. Let's find out what it is. Do you know anything about this?
I don't, actually.
Oh, that's exciting. You watch the show with your kid, don't you?
I did, but I think I got to the end of what was on Netflix and just assumed it was done.
So, based on Teen Titans,
Right.
who would be the...
Well, based on Teen Titans Go, we've encountered other characters who might have been. Like, Wally West was in a couple of episodes. Speedy is in a few episodes. Aqualad is in a few. Terra is in a few. All of them, either because they're evil or mean or whatever, have a bad relationship and end up off the team.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's like a running thing where none of these other people that you would expect to be Titans become Titans.
Oh, okay.
And that's like a running thing on that show. I think it would be really funny if it was, if they officially promote Silky, like the Starfire's little alien bug pet.
But this is a new Titan. I feel like they're bringing in a new character.
Could be that. I honestly don't know. It might be one of those ones that we've seen before, but they actually make it onto the team or something. But
is there anybody who hasn't?
There's such a running thing of it not working out. I guess maybe Donna Troy we haven't necessarily seen.
Oh, that could be a good one.
Or you could put like Arrowette, or like
Donna Troy sounds like
Artemis or something.
I'm putting my money on now. It's
Miss
Donna
Martian.
Troy.
You could.
I'm putting my money down.
You're putting your money.
Yeah,
Donna Troy.
Yeah, that sounds.
I'm gonna say maybe Miss Martian. Just for fun.
Well,
no, or Superboy.
Oh, I think that's really too much, like taking away from Robin.
Well, but that's also kind of the reason why a lot of these people don't make the team.
Oh, it's because Robin's ego.
There's an episode where Robin tries to challenge Wally West for like leadership of the team, and he challenges him to like a foot race. And I think he ends up like
seriously.
I think he ends up like breaking his leg or something.
Oh my god!
So he can win the race. Like it's pretty.
Wow.
Yeah. What a great show.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she's at least not watching Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
That's really
never.
God, I like babysat a kid, like a friend of ours kid who's like 3 the other day.
Yeah.
And it was just like Paw Patrol for like 4 hours.
No Ranger Rob?
I don't know who that is.
It's a different show.
Oh, I was like, what? Shut your mouth. Yeah, I couldn't handle it. I do. Does your child watch any of those like really young kids shows?
No, because we don't watch that much TV, and when we actually do watch things, it's usually more movies. Like our daughter really likes The Water. Like in real life, like she likes being by the lake.
Oh,
she likes
like,
going swimming. So like, but that also translates
like
to what
Lady
she
in the
likes
Water.
It's what she likes to watch is like Moana, Finding Nemo, Little Mermaid, like all that kind of stuff.
Water-based things.
She's a big fan of that. Yeah,
She's gonna be a swimmer.
Marine biologist.
Ooh,
We've got high hopes.
yeah.
This is our retirement plan.
Speaking of water-based activities, my wife Jessica has been watching a lot of Baywatch.
Wow.
She's like 3 seasons in now,
Wow.
and I forgot what that show was like.
Is this what happens when you're like about to reach the end of Netflix?
You know what happens is this is what happens when you get cable and a DVR.
Oh.
And she goes, "Oh, I remember Baywatch," and then has it record all of the episodes that come up, and there's a lot of fucking episodes.
Sure, yeah.
And I forgot what that show was like because I never really watched it.
Yeah.
Did you?
I only a very little bit.
I watched. I occasionally.
It's kind of a strange show, though.
Yeah. It wants to be like a classic, like David Hasselhoff, like mystery show.
yeah.
But it's fucking lifeguards, and I find myself every time watching.
It's a lifeguard show that tries to act like it's a cop show, but every once in a while a producer comes in and says more tits, and then so like it's all over the map.
Well, I watch it and I go, can lifeguards do that? Like that's like every time I'm watching it, I'm like, do lifeguards go undercover? Like I don't know.
That's so true.
It's happened multiple times on that show. And I'm always just like,
that's true. I forgot about that.
What? Like they did it. I forgot that they did an episode that was a crossover with what's the Gilligan's Island.
Really? Yeah. Sorry, those are from 2 different eras. How did they even do it?
So they have the whole thing where a guy goes into a coma, and in his coma, or like he gets knocked out or something like that.
Is it like the musical episode of Scrubs where it's like his perception of the world is
well, it's sort
Gilligan's
of.
Island?
He gets like knocked out, and then in his like dreams, he finds Gilligan and like I can't remember one of the other ones.
Ginger or Marianne.
I mean, I think it was Marianne. Yeah. But they're like much older at that point, and they like finally got off the island, and then like it suddenly all of the characters of Baywatch slowly start taking on personas of Gilligan's Island. So like the like the black police officer guy like takes on the captain, and like.
Wow. What an insane crossover.
And then they decide that they were going to go to the island to save everybody else.
Sorry, not everyone got off the island?
No, just the 2 of them. And so somehow just the 2 of them got off. And so now they're going to go and try to save everybody else, but then they become them. And it's very weird. It's so weird.
That is exceptionally strange.
It's an exceptionally weird show that I kind of something like people go back and watch it because it's fucking stupid. I also forgot that every episode they have 1 or 2 music videos in them.
Oh yeah,
for like a minute or 2 minutes, they just suddenly have like a band, like they have music playing, and then it's just like nobody talking. It's just like somebody either like surfing and then like flashes of surfing and then people running across the beach, and it's just like a song plays.
Lots of the running, yeah.
I'm like, God, this show must have been so cheap to fucking make. They just did an episode with Pamela Anderson.
Sure.
Because now she's in like season 3,
right?
And she meets it's so not 2019.
Right.
There's like a scene where like she saves some guy. So this was like ugly, like schlubby 40-year-old dude who like hits on her, and so she decides to go on a date with him.
Classic TV. That's the classic King of Queens syndrome.
This model who's like decides to go. You find out that the guy also has a wife that he like just married, and they're on their honeymoon, but she got sunburned, so she's staying in the hotel, and so he does the whole like, I'm having a date with this new girl while my new wife is up in the hotel. It's so bad. It's so bad. And everybody's like talking to Pamela Anderson's character being like, is this one going to be okay? And she's like, no, this one's better than the guy who just like gave his dog a flea bath the whole day. I'm like, you are a model. You deserve better than this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a classic TV thing of like just unfuckable guy with like the most attractive woman
in the entire world. Yeah. Which like season 3 of Baywatch with Pamela Anderson, like I get it. Like I like watching it, I'm like,
it's before too much work got done.
That's the thing, because like I'm like, her boobs are like a perfect size right now, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, she had work done.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I get it, but like, no.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like now she's got like a skull inside each of them.
So did you see? Jesus Christ.
That would be goth as hell.
Yeah. Can I get skull plantations?
Sorry, skull plantations?
Well, like skull implantations. So I was trying to like put them together.
Yeah. Oh, I see. You're trying to make one word. I pictured something else.
Wow. Yeah, I know. A river of fire and like skull plantations. Yeah. Did you know she did get her hair cut recently? She has like a pixie cut now. She looks super cute.
Sweet.
Next piece of news.
Welcome to the Dr. Pam Anderson podcast.
It's the Dr. Anderson podcast.
Dr. Anderson.
So Deathstroke is apparently getting his own animated series on CW Seed.
Yeah, which, I mean, that CW Seed, the stuff that has come out of that has been like canonically part of the Arrowverse.
Really?
That's where the Vixen.
What is it?
It's just like short, like 6-episode animated series, basically, but it's all online, like streaming.
Oh shit!
So Vixen made her debut there before she crossed over to live action in Arrow, and then before we met like her grandmother, that previous Vixen in Legends of Tomorrow.
Is it the same voice, or is it?
Yeah, because like Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin play their versions of Green Arrow and Flash in that. It's set in the Arrowverse.
Oh, wow.
There's a Constantine one. So if the Deathstroke one is also that, then I have to assume that it's going to be Manu Bennett, who played Deathstroke on Arrow, and that we're going to follow him a little bit, which is cool. Yeah, I'm all for
they were
it.
saying Manu's version of Slade has had a consistent, relevant presence throughout the show's run. The writers introduced him in the first season as figured from Oliver's past on the island. Season 2 saw the full transformation, yada, yada, yada. But
and I think he was pretty big in season 5 too. For a bit, he was kind of absent because of that thing where DC is like, you can't use them, we might do a movie. But then he was in for season 5.
Exactly,
so,
right?
Yeah, he's been a bit of a thread in Arrow. But yeah, I really like him. Like season 2 of Arrow is, I think, its strongest season, and he's a big part of that because he's a great villain in that season and very like honest, like emotional motivation, and like I really dig Manu Bennett's Deathstroke.
Yeah.
And the suit was cool, and like he was just dope. Like I'm all for that.
That's awesome. So there's been a lot happening with the Batman, and I feel like we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
So first of all, we got 3 villains named.
Well, okay, so the rumor is that the movie has like 6 or so villains in it. Probably like some are just very, very minor, or that it's like a mass breakout or something like that. But the ones that I heard that got named were Penguin and Catwoman.
So did you hear who they have cast as that's in the running for casting for Penguin right now?
I don't know.
Josh Gad.
Do you know what? I kind of dig that.
Right? I'm kind of into it. I think that he would do a really good job.
Comedians often do good dark work. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it. Especially, he's got to be a little bit younger too. It's going to be young Batman, so yeah.
So Catwoman.
Okay.
Which I don't think
do they have any casting front runners?
No, and we'll get to some stuff that's to come out. But and then the third one is Riddler.
Riddler?
Which who is it? Somebody that really wanted to play. Oh yes, Sebastian Stan.
Oh fuck.
Right.
Oh,
He really wants to play the role right now.
interesting.
So he's vying for it right now through social
Very
media.
interesting. Well, yeah. So the rumor is that there are many villains in this
Which
film.
I think that he would kill it. What I'm hoping
That's
for,
not. Yeah. Again, it's not one I would have thought of, but I've only seen Sebastian Stan in so few things that, like, yeah, of course he could do other stuff. Like, yeah,
but just like I'm picturing it in my mind and I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
I wonder if
I
they're
like
gonna
that
do
better than the on the nose stuff where people are like Jim Parsons or like whatever. Like,
yeah, that's a little. It's going too Jim Carrey-ish,
yeah, which as we know, those of us
which
who
I
listen to
like,
this podcast,
which I like.
I hate.
It's obviously is good,
it's
but
not.
we've had the good version. We don't need another one
We
of the same.
haven't. We have. Yeah, haven't had one since Frank Gorshin.
Well, that's so obviously. I considering the theme of today's episode, I wonder if this movie is going Arkham-ish. If they're going to throw this many villains into it.
I feel like if you have this many villains in it, they're. But it's still young Batman. It's unlikely, I think, that they're all in that thing. But maybe if so many team up, maybe it's like at the end we're like, we need a spot to put them. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, where do we put them in?
Oh no, we need some sort of asylum. Maybe an Arkham. I don't know.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
Noah ushered animals 2 by 2 to safety, so will I usher the criminally insane 2 by 2 to their cells.
Yes,
This is my Arkham Asylum.
and my arc in the shape of a pig. My Arkham asylum. So yes,
I'm interested in that. Yeah.
So obviously the bigger part of this has been the casting of Batman.
Well, I don't think it's like 100% signed, but basically
not.
the super front runner, the most likely one is Robert Pattinson.
So what had happened was
I think Nicholas Hoult might be still kind of
he
in the
is.
running.
So this is what happened was someone who was working on the movie leaked it that he was in it, and then Fox came out and basically said like no. Or WB or whatever, yeah.
Right, yeah.
They came out and said no. We haven't the contracts have not been signed. This is not 100% sure. He is high in the running, but it's not. And then that's when we found out that Nicholas Hoult was the other one who is giving me in there. And I think those are two very different takes on the Batman.
Yeah.
I think what are your initial perspective on Robert Pattinson?
Would I have thought of him? Probably not.
Would you have thought of Mr. Mom?
No, but that's my point.
Yeah.
We've been through this fucking thing enough, right? Like, remember everyone losing their shit over Ben Affleck? And frankly, he's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's...
I wouldn't say...
I wouldn't have thought
of
of him...
Batman movies, but he's the best Batman for sure.
I love, Robert Pattinson and other things? Not necessarily, but can I see it? Yes. And do I trust, the director? Yes. I love those Planet of the Apes movies and stuff. So, he's obviously seeing something.
This is a version.
Let's let it happen. And, if it comes out and he sucks in it, we will all make fun of it. That's what we do.
Yeah.
You know, but I can't get upset about it now. I know there's lots of people that have very strong feelings, and most of them are like, fucking Twilight. But I can't get myself worked up until it actually happens, and it makes me angry.
So
if it does that at all, which I suspect it won't. For
me, I think for the classic idea of who Bruce Wayne is, I actually think Robert Pattinson could pull it off.
He's got that sort of he's got the right, that sort of the jawline.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a guy that fits a tux,
I think he could.
He's got
Chris Pratt has shown us that the guy who doesn't look like he could be a superhero could become one.
Yeah.
Obviously bodies can be molded. I wouldn't be that concerned about that part. I think
that's a pretty primary part of my plan.
Yes.
The principle that a body can be molded is really what I'm banking on.
I love the idea of a super young Batman. We've never seen a Batman this age.
That's true.
A 30-year-old Batman, that's crazy.
Because even Batman Begins, you're like, what age are you playing, Christian Bale?
Yeah. I think that he looks 40. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think he even was 40, but like he just it seems older.
Yeah, I think that Robert Pattinson feels young. He is fairly young. He's the same age as us ish. I think that it's a version that we've never seen, and like and especially like a take on like an early Batman that feels like he's a young guy trying to figure it out, which I think is the right way to go about it. I'm super curious about it. Nicholas Hoult, I think, is an amazing actor. I really like everything he does. He doesn't fit the like mold of Bruce Wayne.
I think he could act his way into it the way Michael Keaton did. To your point, I think
Totally.
Nicholas Hoult would act his way in, and I think Robert Pattinson
would look the part.
Like
He's also a good actor.
He is a good actor, but I think he has to do less work to like
bridge the gap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
For sure. And I think Nicholas Hoult feels more of like what an actual like if Bruce Wayne was a real person, I feel like Nicholas Hoult is actually what he would probably look like. He wouldn't actually be this classically good looking guy. He would probably be like handsome enough. But
I think the other factor here is that I believe this movie is still meant to be DCEU.
Well, that's weird.
So which of those two
looks like they could become better?
More reasonably, like not just look, but like mannerism, approach.
Robert Pattinson.
I think it's Robert Pattinson in terms of becoming that sort of morose Ben Affleck Batman.
Do you think that
I see it?
If this is DCU, I wonder if we'll get the what's his name being Alfred,
Jeremy Irons.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty dope,
right? Because I mean,
just de-age him like they do to...
I don't think they would really need to, because I mean, there's when you get like between 50 and 60, like or 50 and 65 even, like that. It's nobody really changes that much, right? Like I feel like you could just keep him the way he is, and I think it'd be fine. Maybe dye his hair or whatever, but like I don't think you would need to do much.
A weird wig.
Yeah, I think that Jeremy Irons looks good for his age anyways. I think it would be fine.
I agree.
I have a hard time deciding which side of the line I fall on this, because I think that Robert Pattinson could do a really good job. I already trust Nicholas Hoult a lot, and I followed a lot of his career.
Yeah.
So I'm on board for that, and I feel like if you choose Nicholas Hoult, you have to go super realistic. It has to be more of a realistic version.
Right.
With Robert Pattinson, you can go a little more over the top, I think, which makes more sense with DCU than it does.
I think I'm on Team Pattinson between those two.
I'm Team Jacob, actually.
I'm Team Edward. Definitely Team Edward. Between those two. And I mean, I will admit I was on the wrong side of history with the Heath Ledger casting. I was one of those guys that was like, that guy's
the fucking rom-com. Yeah,
he's gonna be the Joker. And then I had to eat a whole lot of hat.
Yeah,
you know, like,
well, yeah, fuck.
So
I hope that
I know enough not to jump to anything. Again, like I said, I don't think I would have thought of either of them on my own, but I'm also not a casting director. I'm not seeing what they're seeing. There's meetings and things that haven't even, especially with people of that sort of level. It's not just like open auditions, like come on in. It's like there's meetings and discussions, maybe, even if it's beyond, like outside of just the acting talent, like someone maybe in conversation just gets the character, you know what I mean? Like there's all of these other things.
Or the take of that they're doing, right?
Or what's your process? Like, are you going to mesh well with this director? Like there's so many things that go into it.
Who's got an overall deal with WB right now too? Like that's another thing too, right? Like
there's all sorts of stuff, right, that factors into it. But of those two options, I think I'm Team Edward.
I think I would prefer Holt.
Sure.
But I don't think we're going to get him, so I'm very happy with Edward.
The one thing that I had read was that maybe that the studio preferred Holt, but the director preferred Pattinson.
Go with the director.
Always.
Yeah.
Especially when he made those fucking great-ass Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah. Right? Like...
And it will truly be a Gotham of bats.
Wow. So, yeah. I'm stoked for it regardless.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Warren Ellis resurrects Wildcats with artist Ramon Villalobos. Yeah. This August.
Well, the Wildstorm has been like an ongoing sort of Elseworld series that sort of revived the Wildstorm universe.
Yeah.
Wildstorm universe was its own thing.
Wildstorm.
And then it was like it was a different Earth in the multiverse, and then it got folded in during Flashpoint. characters like Midnighter, Apollo, the Engineer, Grifter, all of them were sort of folded in. The team, the Authority or Stormwatch, all those kind of things, right? So in the New 52,
authority always wins.
in the New 52, they were folded into DC, into the main continuity. But then the Wildstorm, that series, was sort of back in its own version of just a Wildstorm universe.
Yeah.
And now Wildcats, I think, is just continuing that. Wildcats was a different team, which I think the most iconic member of it would be like Grifter, something like that. He kind of has a power where he can like sense who is like an alien and then kill them.
Oh, that's a very specific ability. I
Yeah.
can sense that you're not from this exact planet.
Right.
It's a
Well,
very-
I think he could sense a certain type of alien. Like, I think his powers were connected to them. I'll admit, I don't know that much. Grifter's a bit of a blind spot,
Okay.
but I think that was kind of his thing. And in the DC thing and in Future's End and that, they sort of morph it that he could, like, tell who was from a different Earth or things like that.
Okay.
He sort of had an ability that way, but he's mostly like a mercenary, kind of like Red Hood sort of design guy,
Oh,
even though
okay.
he came first. So you could say Red Hood is kind of a griftery design.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's just expanding that sort of separate Wildstorm universe, basically.
Totally. Are you looking forward to it?
Again,
Will you read it even?
I have to read actually this new Wildstorm. I haven't read any of it yet,
Oh.
so I'm super behind that way. And to be honest, when they were coming out, I wasn't reading Wildstorm Universe. I wasn't reading The Authority or anything like that. I got exposed to them during the New 52, and I'm sort of like, I've been backtracking since, right? Obviously, I'm familiar with Midnighter because he's the one that really landed. You know, Midnighter and Apollo are the ones that made the biggest inroads in being folded into the main continuity of DC. All the other ones, I sort of have to do more work, you know, especially, you know, like the Engineer and stuff like that. So I'm trying to backtrack into those things. But, you know, Wildstorm and Wildcats were like, that was a very like extreme 90s kind of thing. So it's kind of interesting to see, like, how do you keep freshening it up? You know, like the DC characters were born earlier. There were different versions of them before the extreme 90s. But things that were created in that era, it's funny to see, like, how do we, like, make this not ridiculous
I mean,
now?
Wildstorm is such a 90s name.
Yeah. Wildcats. And I think it's like an acronym. It's like Wild CATS.
It is because whenever they spell it, it's like in capital letters.
Yeah.
Cats, right? So
But yes, I mean, it's very cool. I like that. I mean, they deserve to be somewhere because really a lot of those characters did not stick when they got folded in, which means, you know, even main DC characters, you have to struggle for years to get like a Hawkman series or to get like a, you know,
yeah.
Poison Ivy mini or like characters that have been around for a while. So those poor Wildstorm characters, for people that loved them, you know, like where the fuck have they been really since 2011? Like it's nowhere. So that there's anything of them is good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you've seen this. We finally got like a full-fledged trailer for Batwoman.
I have seen it.
I haven't.
Ooh, let's do it.
I know.
It looks pretty dope,
Damn.
right?
I'm kind of in for this.
Yeah. There's
There's
lots that I like in that trailer.
there's some lines and stuff that I've heard people making fun of, but it doesn't actually bother me. It feels like a CW show, so I know what I'm in for. I think if this is their first one, then it might feel a little cheesy. But for me, it feels more realistic than any of the other CW shows. So
yeah. I mean, this is the show they wanted to make with Arrow in the first place, right? It's
now they
like,
finally get to do it.
get
Yeah.
to do it. Like, we're actually in Gotham. We don't have to make Star City look like Gotham.
We got some like sort of B-level, C-level villain in there.
Well, the villain, I think, is some version of like Red Alice.
Mhm.
I think when we first talked about this show way back, I think I was thinking like White Rabbit. But
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I think it might be more like Red Alice.
White Rabbit's just
Red
kind of
Alice
part
is,
of
I
it.
mean, is very similar. There's lots of like, there's a surprising number of characters that riff on Lewis Carroll.
Yeah.
You know,
Mad Hatter. Yeah.
but I don't know if this show is going to go full tilt that way, where Red Alice is like her sister or whatever.
yeah.
But some version of that, played by Rachel Scarston, is the
Yeah,
villain,
yeah.
at least in this pilot. Who knows if she's recurring or not? Ruby Rose looks dope in this. She was awesome during that crossover. I'm super excited for that. We get, some hints of the military background.
It feels very like Gotham there, which is like, it's great that like we've gotten to a point now where you can like aesthetically it's pretty easy to go like it's Gotham, right?
This pilot though is very clearly like after Bruce Wayne has gone missing and there's no Batman, but before the crossover, because she doesn't have her own suit yet. She's not like, you know what I mean? Like,
which is interesting because
this pilot takes place before Elseworlds. I don't know if the whole show will, or if, they're going to jump around a little or what's going to happen, because that show is also being brought in for Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I don't know if it's just the pilot, it takes place back then to set it up, and then flash forward.
I would assume that would be my guess.
Now we're into Batwoman.
My guess is the pilot episode will be the one leading you up to it, and the way that they'll frame it was the beginning of it is just like, I'm Batwoman now, like blah blah blah.
Yeah, some sort of like
But it wasn't always like this preview. Yeah.
My name is Kate Kane, and I'm the battiest woman alive. I'm excited. I'm in for that. Yeah,
I totally am. I mean, obviously, like the Batman universe is one that I'm a little bit more easily connected to, and I think generally everybody is. So it's easier one I think to fall into. I'm very curious to see how much of the like wider Batman universe gets pulled into this, because I mean they can technically, this is the first time they've really been able to like carte blanche just like,
well, you're going in from
do anything.
You're going in from a different lens though too, and like so Batwoman has her own sort of set of villains, like the Religion of Crime and Intergang, and
so but
we know that they've cast someone as Vic Sage the Question. It looks in the trailer like there's someone that might be Renee Montoya. So like, does she become the Question over the course of this show, or like in a future season? Like, but there's stuff we can get into that's Batwoman specific, and some other stuff that's more specific to Batwoman than Batman is she tends to encounter the occult / supernatural more than Batman does.
What I think is interesting is that, and it's kind of to our benefit, is so the Flash really is stuck with Flash villains, and there's not a million of them. The especially like famous ones.
Sure. Yeah.
Green Arrow, even less.
Well, and that show pillaged a lot of Batman ones.
So,
even to Talia and stuff like that.
But still, there is some big ones that they've never, and like ones that, or like
ones they didn't get right.
Gotham couldn't touch. Like there's a whole world here that already exists within Batwoman. I just think there's so much to go from here that
I agree.
The show could last forever.
It'd be cool to see some of those like villains that are like, I don't want her to go up against villains that aren't good enough to go up against Batman. That's not what I want. But you're making a Batman show, you have to show the high profile ones just because that's what people want. Right?
You're in Gotham
with Batwoman. Like there are other villains that have like long histories, but you just might not see them in a Batman show. Deacon Blackfire, or Tweedledee Tweedledum, especially if you're throwing Red Alice in there. You can make a connection to characters like that. Amygdala, like there are these other villains that can be terrifying and can be really cool in their own right, but when you're making a Batman show, it's like people want to see Two-Face, and you kind of end up. But
that could be like season 3, season 5, or season 6 could be Joker. Like
Two-Face,
who knows?
Two-Face is actually a thing you could work into this show, because Two-Face and Renee Montoya have like a weird rivalry-ish thing where like he kind of falls in love with her and he outs her as gay to try and get like in a twisted sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like you could easily work Two-Face into that show.
That's what I mean. There is so much more than any of the other CW shows we've had so far. There's so much to be brought in from this. Yeah. Like
and I actually hope that most of this show is just about her being a hero in Gotham because Bruce isn't there, as opposed to we have to find Bruce. Where did he go?
So that is a thing.
I could give a shit.
No, and I don't really care either. Like, he's in Detroit or something, right?
He just hasn't called.
Yeah. I think that we have seasons to figure that out, and I think that'll be a fun like arc
Yeah.
But it's not super important, and I think it's a thing that will help you go from episode to episode. But
Yeah.
I'm on board for this. I'm actually really looking forward to this show, and I can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah, same.
Well, speaking of Batman, Batman Hush animated trailer landed.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
I have no idea, so let's watch it.
all right.
I don't watch anything until we get here because I got shit going on.
Thoughts?
Hush is a good story.
Yeah.
One, I don't really care for this style of animation that DC has been doing lately.
Basically, this is like
the house style right now.
well, they kind of they had different animated movies. Then they did Flashpoint Paradox, and basically since then, unless it's specifically Elseworld, all of the movies have been this. So like if it's not Gotham by Gaslight, they've all been these actors, this style, this kind of. They've sort of set up a more quote unquote consistent animated film universe.
Yeah, which I appreciate that, but I find that some of it's really jarring and like seems kind of cheap.
Okay.
Especially when they go into like 3D shots.
Right.
I find that it looks a little cheap. I think the voice acting is pretty good now, but I find that the writing is a little shitty, and I think that Hush wasn't. Like it just feels a little bit like Batman, that's what you're doing. Like
right. I mean, it's also the trailer.
I mean, yeah,
it's a little. Yeah, I don't know that I can totally judge by that. I mean,
so Batman's your boyfriend now.
I mean, that's kind of in that story, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but just for some reason, like in that context, it just feels.
There is a difference between reading something on a page and saying it out loud.
Yeah,
that is true. There's like what you're willing to accept as like okay dialogue is different.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Also, the acting's a little stilted with some of the characters that are pulled in. Like Ivy seems a little like
it's a trailer. How can you tell?
Just from like any of the dialogue I got was a little.
It's an animated trailer. Stilted. You can't even see the actor.
I know, but that's still acting.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying a trailer can show you less of that than a trailer.
I agree. I'm just saying, like that's all we have to go off of.
Right.
So, Batman, I think Hush is a good story, and I'm a little concerned about this because it feels like they're making it like how awesome Hush is. And I'm like, well, Hush is good, but it's not.
Well, yeah, sorry,
good. Like
there is that to it. Yeah, I mean, as they're sort of adapting these classic stories, it's like buckle your fucking seatbelts.
Yeah, this is the one that's been waiting your whole fucking life for, you goddamn nerds, and it's just like, well, Hush is right. Good, but
there is a little bit of that to it. I'll give you that.
Like I was like, Long Halloween's a little bit better than this. Like I just think that they think there's a little bit more weight to this than it actually is.
Sure,
it's the one that I'm kind of the least excited for at this point. I'm more excited for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Batman than this.
Right.
So
yeah, fair enough.
What about you?
I'm excited. I mean, like but not in a way where it's like, oh my god, I can't wait till it comes out. But like, I'm gonna watch it. I'm sure it's gonna be good. The thing I like about it is it's not. There's a few of these animated movies more recently that have like I didn't super care for Batman versus Robin. I didn't super care for Batman Bad Blood.
Yeah,
there's some of them I was just like, eh. This one at least I can kind of bank on the overall narrative. I'm sure there's going to be tweaks and changes and things like that, but generally speaking, like I know Hush is a solid story, so I'm at least going in with that. You get to see lots of different characters that I like, especially in animation. You might as well, right?
I don't like the animation of Joker either.
Right.
Give us what we want. Dark Knight's Metal.
Oh, fuck.
Right? Right?
I mean, I'm there for that, but there's a lot of shit in that. I mean, I don't mean shit like bad stuff. I just mean like there's so much in there.
I know.
It changes the actual like understanding of the fabric of all of reality in DC.
Yeah. That's how you're going to get me.
If they ever go for Dark Knight's Metal, yeah, that'll oh Jesus.
Right?
Why are you making me think of this?
It's a thing that'll never happen, and that kills me a little inside.
Oh, fuck.
Maybe one day.
DC execs.
We know you're literally have never listened, but maybe today.
Stitcher's listen. Yeah, come on. DC, we know you listen.
Come on, DC. This is how you're going to help your brand.
Don't you want to help your brand? Don't listen to the first 4 minutes of today's episode.
You're making us look like idiots. Well, there's no way to transition to this. Let's just talk about this week's theme.
Yeah, this week's theme is prisons.
I can't believe we haven't done this. This is a great idea.
Thank you.
Oh, I guess I have to give you a compliment. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Shit.
Never mind. Bad idea.
Yeah. No.
It's not worth it.
No.
Yeah, we're talking about the different sort of prisons, containments, holding cells of the DC universe.
Yes.
And the people involved
Mostly
with those.
physical, not so metaphysical.
Yeah, not like the prisons of our mind, not like our crippling anxiety or
We've already talked about the last episode.
the fact that I never think I'm good enough. I just can't get out.
That's a prison you should stay in. It's true.
Jesus. You sound just like my therapist.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say your dad, but that makes sense.
No, my dad's very supportive.
He's in a prison of huge dick.
Jesus.
Can't
why?
escape it.
Why? This is why my parents don't listen to the podcast anymore.
This is why.
Probably.
Not the lack of quality. If anything, that was the thing that kept them going on for so long.
Sure. Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're going to remind us.
Right. Yeah. It makes me so uncomfortable.
Hey, you got one too. It runs in the family.
That's true.
I don't like when you agree with.
It's not fun anymore.
No, I don't like this game.
Let's go to the questions.
We got a ton. Going to Facebook.
Going to the face and the book. Going to the Facebook.
And we got a question. DJ from Michael O'Brien.
What does Michael O'Brien ask?
He asks, what about Mr. Oz's prison? Which I believe still has people in it. And one prisoner behind a giant green door that's never been revealed from the new 52 era.
Yeah, there are still some unanswered questions about Mr. Oz. So he started showing up before Rebirth. And you're sort of watching Superman, and sometimes he'd intervene and you'd be like, oh, that must be a villain. Sometimes he'd intervene and you'd be like, did you just help Superman? You couldn't figure it out. And then there were these sort of like abductions. Doomsday went missing. Tim Drake went missing, was presumed killed, but actually was sort of plucked from his space.
Okay.
Mr. Mixus Pitlick. Basically, they all were imprisoned by Mr. Oz, and you say like, what kind of a prison can hold Doomsday, Mr. Mixus Pitlick, like all of these things. There's something like very powerful at work. And Mr. Oz was revealed to be Jor-El, who himself was sort of plucked from space at the instant of Krypton's destruction.
Oh shit.
This is tied to Dr. Manhattan.
Of course.
But we haven't actually gotten the answers to that yet.
Really?
Like we still don't know. Like,
do you think that
there was a kind of a prison breakout from Mr. Oz's prison? Mixus Pitlick got out. Tim got out. But we still don't have the answer of like, was Oz willingly working with Manhattan? Was he being controlled? What was happening? Like, we still don't know what that was. Did Manhattan make that prison for Oz? Did Oz use different, there's a lot of unknown questions about like, what is the role here? Because basically what he was doing is he was sort of taking people off the table that he thought were a threat to Superman, which is very specific because he's Jor-El. He's concerned about his son, but he's using it's not just Kryptonian powers. He has this sort of scythe staff, and there's other things going on there.
Yeah.
And we know that like the energy that sort of plucked him from the destruction of Krypton, Superman went back in time to try and see it, and he couldn't. Like, things have been messed up, and it's all tied to Manhattan somehow.
Do you think that we're going to? Is this part of?
We've only got 3 issues of Doomsday Clock left.
Like, do you see it happening?
I mean, I sure hope so. That's what I'm signed up for.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know.
Who do you think's behind the green door?
Oh, Superboy Prime.
Yeah.
You know, someone from a different era, a different continuity. Maybe.
Would that be good to you?
Oh, it'd be good to me.
Yeah.
I actually would. It would be pretty dope to see Superboy Prime again.
Yeah.
I actually think we have a question about him later on. We will talk about Superboy Prime. But,
dope. Well, let's keep going.
but yeah, that prison of Mr. Oz's is a thing that you sort of see near the tail end of the New 52 and then into the early end of DC Rebirth. And a few different stories tie into it. So the Tim Drake stuff is from Detective Comics. The Mixes Pitlick stuff is part of a crossover story between Action Comics and Superman called Superman Reborn. There's the Doomsday stuff, I think, comes up in Action Comics. So there's a few different books that kind of are connected / tie in.
Yeah. Awesome. Next question comes from Adam Upper.
I hardly know her.
Is Parallax being held in the central power battery just an analog for willpower holding off of fear / masking it?
I mean, yes. Everything in the Green Lantern lore when it comes to emotions is a metaphor. But let's talk about what he's actually physically describing. So the central power battery is like where all of the willpower is that then charges the lanterns, that then charge the rings, you know, like it's where it all is aggregated. And that central power battery itself has been used as a prison on multiple occasions. And the big sort of mythological piece of that is that they, at some point in the past, trapped Parallax, the fear entity, inside the central power battery, that the entire force of the universe's will was containing Parallax.
Yikes.
But then that is what's called the yellow impurity, which is that will is weak to fear. That's like they retconned this to be like, why are the green rings weak against the color yellow? All this kind of stuff. But like, yeah, the metaphor, the thing that Adam's talking about is that if you have like fear or doubt, that will gnaw away at your will to act. That is absolutely the metaphor of that. That's 100% what it is. That's why they did it. It wasn't always like that. Like in the 60s, you won't hear anyone talk about Parallax. That wasn't a thing. But as the story is retconned about like, why did they used to be weak against yellow? Why, you know, what was Parallax? How do we redeem Hal Jordan from, you know, Emerald Twilight and all these kind of things? That became the story that they had imprisoned the fear entity within Will, meaning there was a seed of fear inside Will, weakening it.
Wow.
Literally and metaphorically.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It actually is. Yeah. You know, like that part of the emotional spectrum kind of storytelling is actually, it's kind of neat. That's like the reason you go to comic books, right? It's like, here is the allegory and then here is the direct application. Like, how are you afraid of facing Sinestro? And then also up here, we have a literal being of fear trapped in a literal prison of will. Like, so like, that's the reason you go to comic books. Exactly. So it's actually pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we've only just begun. But not this resident, because he's Dan Dunn.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Very well Dan done.
That's right. He didn't start the fire.
Yeah.
Because he's Dan Dunn.
He doesn't eat his steak rare. He eats it Dan done. Or well done. Fuck.
No. That works. It still works.
He eats it Dan done. That doesn't make any sense.
I kind of like it, though.
All right, sure. I kind of fucked that one up.
He's not finished. He's Dan Dunn. Who asks, where was Black Adam kept while he was imprisoned, and has anyone else been imprisoned there?
Right. So in the early, you know, Fawcett Comics, Captain Marvel stories, Black Adam was still, you know, he was the first champion, right? And then he became like a tyrant. He was abusing his power. The wizard couldn't take the power from him. But what he did back then was he actually like banished him to like the other end of the universe.
Oh.
It took Black...
So you just threw him a really far away?
Yeah, so it wasn't like he was in a prison. You like just put him really far. It took Black Adam 5,000 years of flying through space to get back to Earth.
I feel like you would go through that much space, you'd just be like, this place is actually pretty cool. I'm just going to hang out over here.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He's so like consumed with his... I can't imagine being 5,000 years worth of Spiteful. Like,
How excited are you for like the Rock to become like a heel again?
yeah, I'm ready.
Like,
My body is ready.
It's been like decades since he's turned heel. Like, I'm super
Do you
excited.
think they're gonna make him do an accent, like to make him sound Middle Eastern?
Oh no, I don't. I don't think The Rock has that kind of range.
Well, that's kind of why I was asking.
I don't think he has that kind of range. I think that he's just gonna be like, I'm from Middle East, obviously.
Eyebrow.
Yeah, you know that Middle Eastern.
He has the eyebrow of Horus. That's the H. That's one of the H. That's the H. Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, in the initial one, he wasn't actually put in a prison. He was flung across the universe. But in the New 52, Black Adam kind of was imprisoned sort of magically, and in that sort of first Shazam origin story that was unfolding in like backup stories in Justice League. Dr. Savannah finds this tomb, is sort of exposed to magic. He gets the eye that can see magic. And then he frees Black Adam. So that's
this whole thing of just getting eyes, like
yeah. Well, no, that was just a thing in the New 52, and then they adapted it again in the movie to make it like that it was home to the sins. That's not even a thing in the comics.
Oh, really?
No. That's only the movie.
Oh, cool.
But they just took the eye because it's a cool design thing. And whatever. But that particular prison is essentially like I think you assume it's somewhere in the Rock of Eternity. You know, that you can access it from a different plane of existence, but that's roughly where he must be in the Rock or something like that.
The Rock.
The Rock is in the Rock.
The Rock.
The files are in the computer. Has anyone else been imprisoned there? Well, I mean, we're in a story right now.
Is anybody else flung across the universe? Yeah.
Well, but I mean, if we take the idea that he was maybe imprisoned somewhere in the Rock of Eternity or by the Rock of Eternity, who else is imprisoned in there? It's the Seven Deadly Sins. They are imprisoned in the Rock of Eternity.
Yeah.
And if you go into the Shazam movie, who else do you see in the Rock of Eternity but Mr. Mind? He's also in there.
Mr. Mind.
And we're in a story right now in the comics where they're exploring the different magic lands, and they had been sealed off for a long time. Black Adam has discovered that they've been opened up again, and he's like, Billy, you fool, I have to kill you before you fuck everything up. So you could argue that all of the residents and the people of those magic lands were then also, in a way, imprisoned. I mean, like, they're in their own realms, but if the access points are all in the Rock of Eternity and those have been cut off, then that's a form of prison, right?
Yeah.
So the Rock of Eternity can be used that way. And even, like, after Day of Vengeance and Infinite Crisis, when it was destroyed, when they put it back together and the Wizard Shazam is dead, they realize like the only thing that can hold the Rock of Eternity together is someone to sit in the seat.
Oh.
Like not necessarily literally, but someone has to be in there to hold that rock together. So Captain Marvel sacrifices himself, becomes like the new wizard. And then like everyone says Captain Marvel and then gets their gets their lightning, gets their powers. So that's also a way in which the Rock of Eternity has been like a form of prison. So, Rock of Eternity at the center of the multiverse, well, relative center, very cool place, lots of magic, but also effective prison, relatively.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's leave Facebook and head on over to Twitter.
Twitter.
Question from everyone's favorite time remnant.
I'm gonna kill you. I can't do the. I was trying to do the vibrating.
Oh,
Sorry.
that kind of works. Scary.
That silence was for us, not for you.
Yeah.
What silence? I got it.
The silence is always for us. It's just usually from the other end. The question is there an underwater prison? Is there a superhero or team that doesn't have their own prison per se? Assuming they kind of share some?
I mean, lots of people don't have their own prisons. That's not like Superman has held people in the fortress, but that's only usually temporary because then they either go to Stryker's Island, which is the Metropolis prison, or they end up in the Phantom Zone. Like, those are kind of where Superman villains go.
Yeah.
Or in the odd case, they might end up in Bel Rev or something like that. But no, not everyone has their own prison. That would be pretty insane. I mean, if you wanted to write a book and make a comment about like the prison industrial complex, every hero would have their own prison. But
I was having a conversation just before you got here because my wife is watching Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, sure.
And I'm like, is that their only prison?
Like for any wizard anywhere?
Yeah, because it feels a little extreme. They don't really reference any other prison, but like even Hagrid in Chamber of Secrets goes to Azkaban. Like, just for opening the Chamber of Secrets again, potentially, but they haven't even proven that.
I thought Grindelwald was in a different prison.
So that might be...
Because isn't like when when Voldemort is going to try and find the Elder Wand in those, like, last movies, doesn't he go to, like, a prison in Eastern Europe? That's not Azkaban, is it, right? Because it feels like if that was Azkaban, then when he broke everyone else out, he would have already asked those questions.
Yeah,
right?
I guess that's true, yeah.
So I think there must be other wizard prisons, but we just don't know about them.
That's true, okay.
Until J.K. Rowling, like, tweets it out and be like, in this prison, there's mud baths. And be like, great, thanks, J.K.
And they're all gay.
You know?
Sure. This character is actually transgender. You didn't even realize that, bigot. But also good that you didn't, because that's the idea.
Touche. Yeah. So no, not everyone has their own prison. There are some.
So Superman has his. There are some, not just the Fortress of Solitude, but also has the Phantom Zone.
So there's some iconic places that can hold or contain supervillains. So yeah, Superman's got Fortress of Solitude, which is usually temporary, and then Phantom Zone and Stryker's Island. Batman in Gotham has Blackgate Prison, which Arkham is like Asylum, an actual prison, and then Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane. That's usually where the people with powers and the crazy ones go.
Yeah.
The Flash has Iron Heights Penitentiary in Central City.
But it seems like he doesn't even, especially on the TV show, doesn't really use that as much anymore. He really goes like elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for a bit, they had the Pipeline in the show. Yeah. That was their own private prison under Star Labs, which was fucked up. Yeah. Until they basically were like, shouldn't we just give this containing technology to Iron Heights and let the prison system do its work? and then they did that. The Green Lantern Corps has the science cells on Oa. There's a prison planet called Takron Galtos. There's... If you want to consider it a prison, there's the Source Wall, which up until recently basically walled in the entire universe. Yes. It walled in every universe of the multiverse. And if you touched it, you became part of the wall and you couldn't escape. Wow. And that's it.
That's frightening.
Yeah. And it blocked the multiverse from the source beyond the multiverse. As for Underwater Prison, which was the first part of this question, Mira comes from a Atlantean penal colony called Zebel.
Really?
So it's not that way in the movie. In the movie, they're all just, we're all just kingdoms down here.
Yeah.
But in the comics, it's the Zebel is like in the Bermuda Triangle. It's like contained by magic. It was like a penal colony. And they have their own king in that because they just live there on their own. And it's sort of like tied into that Bermuda Triangle superstition. And they use most of their magic to try and open a small hole to send Mira through so she can assassinate the king of Atlantis, Arthur. That's but then they fall in love. She abandons her mission. Blah 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 blah. And then stuff has happened since. But basically, Zebel was sort of set up as like a kind of like a penal colony. There's a little retconning that happens in there to get it fully there, but that's basically the idea. Is that that counts as an underwater prison. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Other prisons, just to like name some. Obviously, Bel Rev Penitentiary in Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Bel Rev Penitentiary.
That's right. If my Dr. Savino comes there, you know.
The Suicide Squad.
You like that? Yeah, you like that Suicide Squad now, don't you? Let get that little Joker. Yeah, Harley Quinn on that little outfit makes you go to bum bun.
A little bit of jambalaya.
Oh, you like that jambalaya, don't you?
That's a pretty major one. Yeah, I mean, there's.
Do any heroes share a prison?
I mean, I guess in that, like generic villains might end up in Belrev.
Well, and
like it was like the Monocle. Like Hawkman doesn't have a famous prison of Hawkman, so it's like, yeah, I guess Monocle ends up in Belrev,
and then all of the bats obviously use like.
Well, yeah, Blackgate or Arkham generally, yeah. But I mean, the idea is that there must be multiple prisons capable of housing metahumans. We know that like there are sort of like. Government agencies have places where they can contain, like it might not be an official prison, but it would be, like you'd have a superhero story where they go to Russia and they lose a battle and then they end up in, you're in like a Red Sun room or something like that. Like a government might build a thing where it's like, if this hero comes here, we know how to get them. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's not an official prison that has like a warden and staff and a cafeteria, but it's like just a containment unit. There's like those, everyone's got fucking that shit, like there's all sorts of containment units all over the place. And Batman himself has even held people in the cave. Most recently in the lead up to Dark Knight's Metal, it was found that he was like, he had the Joker prisoner in the Batcave for who knows how long.
Yikes.
Like super like inhumanely. As is Batman's wont.
Didn't kill him.
Yeah, I mean, that could be worse.
Kills his soul and his brain.
Well, I mean,
but
the Joker doesn't have a soul.
That's a whole other conversation. Next question comes from Raspberries Reviews, the kind you find on the Secondhand Podcast, who asks, which prison has the best track record and which has the worst and why? If you were to design your own prison, what kind of things would you make prisoners do?
Oh no. I'm going to just start this question off by saying I'm imposing a strict ban on any like references to like Abu Ghraib or like like war crimes or things like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Best track record, I think, has to go to the Source Wall.
Well, yeah.
Generally, no one escapes. There's been maybe in comics 2, 3 who have ever escaped the Source Wall. And that's in the entire history of everything.
Yeah.
Source Wall's got a pretty great track record. It's hard to beat that. Although right now the Source Wall is completely destroyed, so fuck it.
Yep.
Phantom Zone has a worse track record than you would think.
Speed Force?
Speed Force is interesting because it has been used as a prison. You're absolutely right. Speed Force...
Well, I feel like nobody stays there.
Speed Force, I think, actually has a generally good track record but it's also not necessarily used as a permanent prison too often. I guess if you're going proportionally, then maybe that makes it worse. But like, for example, they couldn't contain Superboy Prime there. The science cells on Oa are generally pretty good, but if something happens to the central power battery, then like all of the worst villains in the universe, right? There's a prison that we haven't talked about that's a different kind of prison, but connected to the Green Lantern sort of mythology, which is the Indigo Tribe. So the story basically is that Abin Sur, the Green Lantern of Sector 2814, before Hal, the one that, crashes and dies and then Hal becomes the Green Lantern, he had discovered the indigo light, and basically it's the light of compassion. And he had decided like you could force people to, wear an indigo ring to let that light into them, and it would force these horrible criminals to feel empathy and like atone for their crimes. So he took his greatest enemy, and basically she became the first. This is why she's now called Indigo One. She became the first to wear the ring and be sort of under the kind of like the control of the Indigo power battery.
Yeah.
And so basically the entire Indigo tribe are like criminals, like some of the worst, like murderers, thieves, genocidal maniacs, blah, 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 who are forced to put the ring on, and then they gain empathy. But if something happens to the battery or the ring comes off, they go back to the way they were. So they have to stay in the Indigo tribe. And for the most part, once they're in, they want to stay because they now have the empathy, like they feel that they should stay. But like that's a weird kind of prison where it's almost masked as like we're doing these people a favor, but it's like you're kind of like lobotomizing them in a sort of way. You can make the argument. There's a brief arc in the New 52 where Sinestro is inducted to the Indigo tribe, and there's a thing where he basically just says like, I'm sorry for everything, Jordan. Like it's, and he means it, but that's a different kind of prison. I think generally they've got a good track record. Not too many people leave the Indigo tribe.
That's a good point.
So I think that is probably up there. Like the fire pits of Apocalypse, if that counts, like not a lot of people leave that. Those are probably the ones with like the best percentage track record. When you look at like the terrestrial ones, I mean, Stryker's Island is actually pretty good, but like Arkham's like a fucking revolving door. Bel Rev, the government lets them out. Like that's the Suicide Squad. I know they've got bombs in their necks, but like how many times have they been deactivated or they go rogue or like
is there
the government actively opens the doors to Bel Rev.
Yeah.
So that one, Blackgate Prison is relatively good, but most of the people in there are just like the thugs of the people that are in Arkham.
Is there any like, is there like an Earth that's just a prison?
Well, that's Takron Galtos.
Okay.
Unless you mean like a parallel.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a. Well, I don't know if it counts as a parallel Earth or if it's just an altered timeline. I think this is a hyper time thing. But there was a thing where in the 30th century, instead of the Legion of Superheroes, it was the Justice League 3000. They were sort of like kind of incorrect clones of the original Justice League.
Okay.
But in that future, the Earth was turned into Takron Galtos. It became a prison planet.
Oh.
So there's that for sure. I think up until Bane took over, Santa Prisca is like that sort of Latin island in the Caribbean, which is basically a prison island. That was a pretty good one until Bane took over, and then it became something different. But that, I was born in the dark. I would say that one's up there. Generally, it's the ones that are ruled by tyrants and people with no ethics, right? Like, that's how you stop people from escaping.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not true in real life. That's a horrible thing to have said out loud. But you know what I mean? Like, for the purpose of comic books where people have powers or have uncanny, like, guile and, like, ability to manipulate people, the only way to contain these people is something like that. The one time that they sent the villains off planet in Salvation Run, where they boom tubed them to this planet, and they were like, you know what? You guys have had enough chances. Fuck you. And they just sent them all off world.
Yeesh.
They ended up building their own boom tube and coming back because they worked together. And they had like some of the greatest geniuses on like
I guess,
Earth
yeah.
there. Like you can't leave them alone. That led to the death of the Martian Manhunter, that whole experiment.
Oh shit.
So like there's stuff that like you can't leave them alone.
Yeah.
You got to put them somewhere with someone that is like not going to give any quarter, because all they need is a little bit and they can get out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Also, if you were to design a prison of your own, what kind of
fuck.
things would you make the prisoners do? I have an idea.
Okay.
I would do an experiment where they have to pretend to be university students.
Okay. To put them in debt?
No. So they have to like, one of them has to be like the professor and the other ones have to be like the students. And they have to like go to class and stuff.
Right. Are you just saying that post-secondary education is a prison?
No, I was just doing the reverse of the like the 70s experiment where they take university students. And
Oh my god. It has been so long since I fell asleep in Psych 101. Like, holy shit.
I thought you'd pick up on that a little quicker.
I actually should have. I know exactly what you're talking about. Wow, that's very funny. I think you're onto something though, where I don't want to get mired down in the ethics of how you run a prison, but I think must be an aspect to the mind side of it, right?
Yeah.
What do you convince them of? Do you put them in like a prison of the mind. You know, like in Forever Evil, the crime syndicate trapped all the heroes of Earth inside the Firestorm Matrix and then used Despero and his mind powers to convince them that they were in like their worst nightmares.
Yeah.
Like that's a prison that's difficult to get out of because there's a physical component and a mental component.
Mm-hmm.
So I suspect there'd be a thing like that, or yeah. Jesus, you fucking professor.
I thought you'd like that. You want to move on?
I do. I'm very disappointed in myself that I didn't get it on my own.
I was a little disappointed in you.
That hurts so much more than my own self-disappointment.
Yeah. It's not that I'm mad. I'm just disappointed.
Can we record this?
Wow, we can't because the next question comes from Raging G. We're all gonna bleed. Raging G. Cotton candy is what I need.
This might be my favorite series of drops. I really love the Raging G ones.
Yeah,
that's among my favorite stuff, I think. So wait, what was the question? You literally only did the drop, and then I was like, wait,
I know you were stuck inside of the drop.
That's the prison. The drop is the prison.
Well, I mean, the podcast is the prison, but yeah.
Well, I mean, for us,
yeah. You guys can turn it off. Turn it off. Why aren't you turning it off? Actually,
hashtag sweet release.
Wait another like 10 minutes, and then you can turn it off.
Yeah.
Let's get that ad
for no reason.
Yeah.
No particular reason.
He asks why Arkham still exists. It never worked. Everybody is leaving somewhat easily from it. Was someone fully healed from Arkham? Why do people still pay for Arkham?
Right. I mean, there are villains who have been housed in Arkham who later have reformed to some degree, but I don't think I would ever credit their time in Arkham with doing that.
Well, no, because there's like a psychopath who's running it too, like most of the time.
Well, yeah, you either get like Hugo Strange in charge or Jeremiah Arkham is like, he's off his gourd too, you know, like or in the Arkhamverse, you got Quincy Sharp, who was corrupt and wanted to be mayor and all this kind of shit. You know, like you never have like someone really working on the up and up. Arkham Asylum is obviously like a house of horrors, right? Like, but the thing that I think we forget about is that it's not just like basically a prison for the super people and the criminally insane of Gotham. It's also meant to be an asylum. So imagine you're just like a regular person,
a regular crazy person
who is diagnosed with a mental disorder, and then you get put in the same building as the fucking Joker.
Yeah, Sure. Like the TV hour is complicated.
I mean, I guess the idea is that over time, Arkham is only for the criminally insane, but still, like, you could be criminally insane at this level, and then criminally insane at this level. I would never credit anyone's time in Arkham with reforming them. That is insanity. You're right. Arkham does not work, but I think this is part of the sort of structural thing in Batman that makes him seem less sympathetic than someone like Green Arrow, is that even the institutions that he does uphold don't do any work. They're not effective. You know, like he's also a guy who breaks into people. He like breaks the rule of law, like all superheroes do. You know, injures people, hurts people, takes the law into his own hands. Again, like all heroes do to some degree. But then those things where he's like, let's turn it over to the system. He's turning it over to like the most broken, corrupt systems. The ones that like are not out to like reduce recidivism or like are not out for rehabilitation or things like that. Like Arkham Asylum has a long history of just like science experiments and like torture and like shit like that. Like one of the only people that I think was doing legitimate good work in there was Harleen Quinzel, and look what happened to her.
You failed the city, which is without fault.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. That is what Batman would say if he had to say that phrase.
Yeah.
Yes, that's precisely it. And I think that's kind of the thing with Arkham. I mean, it obviously doesn't work, but it's the reason they haven't closed it is because that is part of the thing. Gotham doesn't work. That's why there's a Batman. But then Batman also kind of forgets that and goes like, the police are corrupt, but here you go. Here's the guy I caught. Or like, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
we can't trust the judges, but like, oh, I can't execute him. Like, due process. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, not that he should be like Judge Dredd, but it's funny that like all of the systems in Gotham don't
I am the law.
but he constantly hands people back into that system. And so I think the reason in the comics that it never gets shut down or things like that is that that's part of Batman. Gotham doesn't work. And
Just like the American political system.
yes.
Yeah. It's an allegory. I finally figured it out.
Beep, 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 beep. Mom, I
Mr.
know what an allegory is.
Mr. Mayor?
Mom, get my grade 9 English teacher on the phone. I figured out what an allegory is.
That's superlative. Oh, wait. Shit. Hold on. I got to go back.
Oh my God. No, not like this. Yeah. Is there another part to this question that I've missed? That's, I think, why Arkham still exists in the comics. That's part of the problem.
Why do you
of
think
it.
people pay for it still?
Oh, the taxpayer. Oh, well, again, this is the broken system thing. I don't think they get a choice. And I think every once in a while, there's probably some sort of mysterious benefactor.
Well,
it's probably, I would imagine, like the old guard of Gotham, like the high society folk that like want to feel like they're doing the good, but don't actually want to interact with poor people, are like, I'll just give money to the asylum.
Well, doesn't I think it was in the Telltale game, Bruce Wayne actually he creates his foundation puts up a new, like the intent was to put up a new building.
Yeah, and I think the Wayne Foundation has given money, and that no doubt supplies technology to contain some of the people with abilities or stuff like freeze and stuff like that. But yeah, I think generally speaking, it's meant to be like a constant issue, the way that like organized crime is, or corruption, or things like that. Yeah.
Totally. Well, with that, the Dr. Z podcast will be back after this quick break. Seriously, stay around.
Hey, residents, Dr. DC here. I just wanted to take a quick second to recommend some great podcasts that are available now on Stitcher Premium. I know this is the DC podcast, but even I am not immune to something as cool as Marvel's scripted podcast, Wolverine: The Long Night. Gizmodo called it the X-Men crime drama podcast I never knew I wanted. It is super dope. It's awesome.
Which is a lot better than what they called this podcast, which is the DC podcast no one wanted.
I just got the email that said, "You're who?"
Stop emailing me.
Yeah, Wolverine: The Long Night. Wolverine is back. It's a brand new season of the podcast, and you can hear it on Stitcher Premium. It picks up with Logan in the Bayou. It's written by the amazing...
Oh, Logan in the Bayou.
It's written by the amazing author Benjamin Percy, who, you know, DC Comics fans, like, he wrote Green Arrow for a time, Nightwing, very, very talented writer.
Snickety in the jambalaya. I'll tell you, this is Logan in the Bayou.
And it stars Richard Armitage, who was...
that's a good name.
He was Thorin Oakenshield in The Hobbit, which is awesome. He plays Wolverine. And for a slightly different flavor, if you're looking for a new sci-fi comedy podcast set on a space station in a distant future, then you should check out EOS 10. Oh, no, sorry, EOS 10. This is the hard thing when it's like you don't like get like a title sequence where it's like, I'm the EOS 10 alive. It's the story of two maladjusted doctors and their medical team. They're abroad on an intergalactic travel hub on the edges of deep space. It's kind of like Scrubs, the TV show, but in space.
Ooh, I like that.
Which is,
I love Scrubs.
That's a great elevator pitch. So with Stitcher Premium, you can get thousands of hours of original and ad-free content like Comedy Bang Bang and Kevin Smith's Smodcast, plus early access to new releases, exclusive bonus episodes, and archives of your other favorite podcasts, and hundreds of stand-up comedy albums. And all you have to do to get a free month trial of Stitcher Premium is go to StitcherPremium.com and use the promo code DC. That's StitcherPremium.com. Use promo code DC.
That's right. Just 2 letters, DC. And also, Stitcher in general is awesome. We're on Stitcher, so make sure that you use that.
That's right.
And also, Logan Bayou also thinks that you should go on there. Oh, I got a good recipe for gumbo. You just use your 4 knives in your hand and you cut yourself some sausage. It's very delicious. That's Logan from the Bayou.
Back to the show.
Snickety, snickety. Oh, Logan from the Bayou makes a good jumbo.
That's the best new character you've come up with.
Oh, Logan from the Bayou.
Snickety snick.
Oh, snickety, snickety. You like that jambalaya, don't you, Nora? Oh, yes, I living too long. Little Logan for the bayou. I got 4 knives coming up from my hands. It helps me get that crawfish real good. Oh, yes, sir. Welcome to Dr. DC. We're back now. Oh, now I'm with Mr. Doctor.
This is absolutely the greatest character you've come up with in a while.
Oh, yeah, you like that Logan for the bayou?
Yeah, Logan from the Bayou.
Oh, bonsoir, my friend. Mon ami.
It's like Logan and Gambit, like amalgamed.
Yes, I ain't got no stupid cards. I just got that 4 knives from my hand to help me get that crawfish. You know what I mean? Makes a good jumbo.
I mean, amazing.
Yeah, let's go over to the Instagram, you know?
Our sponsor will be very pleased with that.
Oh, they'll never listen to this. Let's go to Instagram, no?
Now we're going to Instagram.
I'll take some questions and answer them, you know? Yeah.
Please don't. I can't take it anymore.
Oh, you know what time it is? It's time for Stump Junkman. You got to step into that Stump Junkman. A blooker.
Oh.
Yeah, that's looking for the bayou.
Cajun Wolverine is... Holy shit. Wow.
Oh, you'll only know what that means if you listen to the ad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all of you people that skip the ads.
You jerks.
Shakes fist.
Yeah.
What does Stump ask?
Is the Phantom Zone a pocket dimension or a flat out other dimension / parallel universe?
Great question.
That is a great question.
It is not like a parallel universe, like a different Earth in the orrery of worlds. So, for those of you at home following along, take out Morrison's map of the multiverse. You can even just Google
or
Morrison's
go to our
map of the
website.
multiverse. Go to our website. It's all up there.
It's one of the first articles we put out.
So not one of the worlds in the orrery in the center. The Phantom Zone is not one of those. It's not like Earth 12 or something like that. But the Phantom Zone is part of and connected to something in the sphere of the gods, an area called Underworld. Which is also where you would find like Hades, or where you would find like
wolves,
the shadow realm, or stuff like that.
Welcome to Underworld.
It's not like it's all one big room where if you end up in the shadow realm or you end up in the Phantom Zone, you can sit together. Like that's not how that works.
Yeah,
but it's part of the same sort of piece of reality. The same sort of area of that sphere of the gods. So that's what the Phantom Zone is. So it's not a pocket dimension because it's not contained to one Earth. It's actually part of the sphere of the gods. So it has a larger place in the multiverse than that. Yeah.
Cool. Next question comes from Equal.
No more. No.
I can see it.
You also can't use this for your dial dog.
Well, shit, I don't know what I'm going to do now. Next question comes from Robbie's just this guy. Robbie didn't kill anybody.
Why do you keep bringing it up?
Robbie's just me. Robbie's not that guy that over there.
This feels like when there's like a 5-part Netflix documentary in like 30 years, we'll all be like, Robbie was just this guy to us.
Yeah.
We found out what he did.
Robbie was wrongfully accused. The police took advantage of Robbie.
God, are we on the wrong side of history? Robbie did it. I'm going to say it right now just so it's on
record. Hashtag Robbie did it.
Hashtag Robbie did it.
Robbie's just this guy asks, how did Superboy Prime escape from that Supermax prison from the end of Infinite Crisis? Asking for a friend. Is that guy Robbie?
I'm glad I got that. Soundbite out.
Yeah,
I'm on the right side of history now.
Asking for a friend. His name's not Robbie. Don't worry about it.
His name is Bobby.
Bobby's just a fry.
You said give him the electric chair?
I said I didn't say Bobby's gonna fry. I said Bobby is a fry.
Oh.
Bobby is just. Oh, I keep making. Whoa.
Hashtag Bobby's gonna fry.
Hashtag Robbie did it. Hashtag Robbie's gonna fry.
This present episode is taking a dark turn. Who could have foreseen this?
In the present episode, we promote capital punishment.
Yeah, we promoted capital punishment. We've promoted like unethical, like detainment and mind manipulation.
We also talk about a good
No.
gumbo. He's getting a little bit of acid. It's very delicious.
so angry at you for this. Because I love it so much.
You know what's going to fix that? You just get some andouille sausage. It's very good, no?
Okay, now who's your favorite person with a vague French accent? Is it Cajun Wolverine or is it Jean Valjean-Jeans?
Oh, Jean Valjean.
Yeah.
That's more of like a traditional French.
He's from
no?
Sector 2814.
that's good.
Right. What was the question? Superboy Prime. So we brought him up earlier, but for those who aren't familiar, Superboy Prime is an alternate universe version of Superman that originally was almost meant to be like from our like a world without superheroes, and then an asteroid kind of flies by and activates his powers, and he is part of the original Crisis on Infinite Earths, and he's maybe the most powerful Superman that ever was.
Yes.
And at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, he and Earth 2 Superman, like the older Superman, and Earth 2 Lois, and Earth 3 Alexander Luthor Jr., who on that Earth was, he was good because that Earth 3 is the flipped morality. They retreat to like a paradise dimension, and all of the 5 surviving Earths are merged into one timeline.
Yeah.
Infinite Crisis, 20 years later, basically the premise is from within that paradise dimension, Alexander Luthor rather has been manipulating, sort of like convincing Superboy Prime that they built reality on the wrong Earth because things got so dark, right? Like it's riffing on what happened in the 80s and 90s in comics. Said we must have built the one universe on the wrong Earth. So we should bring back the multiverse so we can find the right Earth to build reality on. And so Superboy Prime escapes the paradise dimension by punching his way through it. It's a thing called the retcon punch. It actually like changed pieces of reality.
Yeah.
But he's exceedingly powerful. And in Infinite Crisis, he starts by thinking he's a hero, that he's trying to do the right thing. But he's sort of petulant. He thinks he should be the Superboy of that reality, not Con-El. And when people start fighting him, he's like, I'm just trying to do the right thing. And he's getting angrier and angrier. And it sort of culminates when Pantha, this character, sort of jumps at him and he just sort of turns and throws a punch and punches her head into oblivion.
Yes.
And it's just gone.
We've talked about this before.
And he's covered in blood and he goes like, no. Like, I was trying to do the right thing. I'm a hero. And he snaps and he becomes easily the most powerful supervillain anywhere.
Yeah.
And he goes on a tear. Wally and Jay try to run him into the Speed Force, and Barry comes out of the Speed Force to basically pull him in. He manages to escape that. He builds himself an armor made from the old Anti-Monitor armor that feeds yellow sunlight into him to even like supercharge his power further. And in Infinite Crisis, his sort of big culminating fight is Superman from New Earth, like the main continuity, and the old Earth 2 Kal-El fight Superboy Prime. They fly him through a red sun to depower him, but Superboy Prime kills the Earth 2 Superman, kills the original Golden Age Superman. And at the end of that story, there is no prison in the universe that existed that could hold Superboy Prime. He's far too powerful. So at the end of that story, where they stick him is basically in a cell that is a Green Lantern construct that's made by dozens of lanterns.
Wow.
Or possibly even 100 lanterns. And it's in the center of a red sun.
Jesus.
So there's this red sun with this ring of green lanterns constantly around it, constantly making this prison construct.
Jeez.
That is where he is kept at the end of Infinite Crisis.
Feels like.
I believe he gets out because something disrupts the power battery.
I would assume.
And it weakens the construct and he manages to escape. I mean, he's so powerful that being in the center of a red sun doesn't even do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But he does manage to escape. He ends up allied with the Sinestro Corps for a bit. He gets he's part of the Sinestro Corps. He does ultimately, I think, get pushed into the Source Wall. But Yeah, that the prison he's describing is actually visually very cool. But yeah, he's in like a green lantern cell that's made by like 100 lanterns in the center of a red sun. And when he's in there, he like carves an S into his chest, and he's like, "I'll be back." He's like, it's super fucked up kind of stuff.
Wow.
He's terrifying. And after he does escape from that prison, he goes on a tear. He destroys Earth 15 entirely. That's a dead universe.
Wow.
And he also, I think, plays a big role in the destruction of Earth 51, which this is all leading up to Final Crisis kind of stuff. But I think he's also a big part of that. But he like destroys Earth 15, which is now, basically like a dead universe.
Wow.
It's fucked up.
In the center of a dead planet.
Buried alive. Exactly.
I use that track at the beginning of like one of the songs that I have from one of my old bands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I will chase him round the Antares maelstrom and through perdition's flames before I let him go. But yeah, I mean, it's, he was already so powerful. So that prison at the end of Infinite Crisis was like, holy shit, look how powerful he is. But then he escaped from that. So that's why he eventually got pushed into the Source Wall, because it was like, what could possibly hold someone that can kill a universe?
Yeah.
Like the stakes got upped. So the prison had to get upped too.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, with the exception of the fact that the thing that powered them kind of faltered, that was a pretty dope prison.
Yeah. It's fucking cool looking as hell. Yeah.
Oh, did you pull it up to look at it?
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. The real Josh Gill.
Gill.
Sexy Gill. Posting all those thirst traps lately.
He's just working out.
He's getting dripped. That's,
So he's getting what?
Drippy.
What?
It's real drip. It's the thing that Dino Archie has been doing lately. He's been talking about the drip.
What? What?
Because he's sweating and dripping and getting all in shape.
I thought it was something about being ripped.
Yeah,
but you said it wrong.
No. It's like the drip.
He's okay.
You've seen that man.
Yeah, but I'm not.
I mean, he's really good shape.
I mean, like, will you edit this out?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to fuck him so bad.
I want to fuck him so bad. Well, speaking of fuck him so bad, real Josh Gill asks,
do you think that's enough space? You can find that to edit that out?
Yeah. Don't worry, buddy.
All right. I'm really counting on you here.
Yeah.
I have a lot riding on this.
Yeah. Speaking of that thing that I edited out, Josh Gill asks, fuck, marry, kill, Bell Rev, Iron Heights, Blackgate.
Ooh. These are all, okay. Interesting.
Also, is there any prison that's truly inescapable that nobody has escaped from? Source Wall.
Source Wall is as close as you get, I think.
Fuck, marry, kill. So I'm going to...
I mean, Source Wall is a better prison than Death.
Yeah.
Like in DC,
Yeah. I'm going to say marry Blackgate.
Okay.
It's consistent. It's reliable.
Ish, yeah.
Ish. Well, we get that 7-year itch, but I would say...
No, I don't know. It's only been 6 years.
Yeah, so I would marry Blackgate. I'd fuck Iron Heights because it's a little crazy, but it's still fun. And I would kill Bell Rev because it's just too much insanity. I just that's too much. I don't. Yeah.
Right.
That's all of the crazy villains have been there at some point or another, and it's just let's get rid of it.
I think this is a fun game to play with like an abstract concept because I'm not actually
fuck, marry, kill, depression, sadness, excitement.
Sorry, 2 of them were sadness.
Yeah,
of a form.
Remember, that's the good thing, sadness.
Oh. I'm not going to literally fuck a building, but
if I could,
but if I could, it would be. I think I would kill Iron Heights because it's. Well, I mean, it's also technically right now destroyed in the comics. The Trickster destroyed
it. Because you fucked it, right?
Oh, yeah. Can fucking kill be the same one? No.
Depends how hard you try.
You kill Iron Heights because of those. I mean, yeah, Bell Rev is like, that's shady shit in the Suicide Squad and that, but it's also like sanctioned by our government.
So then it should be taken down.
Except that Iron Heights is not meant to be doing any of that, but Warden Wolf there conducts experiments, tortures inmates, things like really kind of Arkham's that shit.
Yes.
So you kill Iron Heights, I think. I think you marry Blackgate again because it's relatively dependable.
Yes, exactly.
And I think I fuck with Belle Rev.
Whoa, because daddy likes a little kink.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
You'd fuck that building.
I want the worst of the worst to do their best.
So you said you wouldn't fuck a building, right?
Well,
that's not what I thought. I thought it was.
I've embarrassed myself too thoroughly. Hashtag sweet release.
Hashtag Robbie did it.
Hashtag Bobby's gonna fry.
Next question comes from ABC.
Brooks.
Because he has 1, 2, 3.
Brooks.
Do, re, mi.
Brooks.
ABC.
Brooks.
1, 2, 3. Maybe you and me,
Brooks.
Brooks. I guess I don't know why.
Brooks. Brooks.
Brooks.
What does ABC Brooks ask?
Brooks.
Oh, I thought you were doing the. I thought you were doing the Charles in Charge thing there for a sec. Brooks.
I want Brooks and Brooks. ABC Brooks asks, is Amanda the Waller a great warden or the greatest warden?
Well, I mean, let's throw ethics out the window for a second here. I think Amanda Waller is the sort of person who's so pragmatic that she looks at the world and she says, like, we clearly do not have a prison that can permanently contain or subdue any of these people.
Yeah.
What's the next best option? We know they're going to get out. They might as well do some good for us while they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, put the bomb in their neck, make the Suicide Squad. That sort of, I mean, that's all of that I just said is fucking horrible. But she's one of those people that's such they'd be the person that'd be like, I'm a realist,
Yes.
she's very pragmatic and very,
So
she's
into recycling, which I appreciate.
she's really like, just achieve your goal no matter how dirty your hands get kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so with ethics thrown out the window, you could make the argument that recognizing that they're going to get out anyway,
Yeah.
and turning it into something that she can at least manipulate a little bit makes her at least a clever warden. Because
Clever warden.
Because she also, she uses the Suicide Squad as a way to pit people against each other. Like, oh, do you want to go out on a mission? You want to taste fresh air? Like, oh, you'll never, if you don't do this right, you're going to, I'm going to put you in a hole and throw away the hole, to quote the Suicide Squad movie.
Yes. Because we all remember that line.
I do.
Because you fucking watch it all the time.
I never stop watching that movie.
God, it makes me so
it's
mad.
playing right now.
In your head.
Yeah, in my Google Glass. So
dirty glasses, by the way.
Yeah, tell me how dirty they
Yeah,
are.
your glasses are so dirty, you fucking 4 eyes.
Yeah, I guess they are. But yeah, I mean, essentially, I think you could say that because she recognizes that sort of futility, she's at the very least like a cynically great warden.
Yes.
There are better people, like more ethical people, and there are, like I'd say the green, like the, what was his name? There was like a sort of like Harry Bear guy that was like the Green Lantern warden of the science house for a bit. But now I think maybe it's Salek kind of does more of that now. But yeah, there was a sort of bear guy. I can't remember his name.
Grillis?
No, I wish. But he was the warden of the science cells for a very long time. But because they're Green Lanterns and, very kind of law enforcement-y, he would have been like a better warden than Amanda Waller, right? Like better morally, probably better even just as an administration because he wasn't out for his own shit all the time.
I want to be in the pipeline. I just feel like you're getting Big Belly Burger all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would be funny if, like, 3 seasons in, you see them, they all just have, like, circulation issues and, like, oh, like, stop feeding us Big Belly Burger.
But also don't stop. So good. Or you're going to fuck me with a Big Belly Burger.
Do you know the thing that never gets explored in that show? At the end of season 1, when they have, like, Wells Thon in the pipeline, he says, Big Belly Burger, no cows where I'm from. We never go 150 years in the future and see what the fuck happened to cows.
Yeah, no.
Justice for Bat Cow.
Yeah.
Definitively, there's no Bat Cow in the future.
Maybe that's
because of that comment.
Maybe the Bat Cow is like a Punisher style, like avenging all of the cows that have been murdered.
Oh, the last cow on Earth.
Oh.
With a fucking, like, rifle and, like... yeah.
Moo's there.
Moo, bitch. Get out the way. That's what's playing. He's like...
Who's there? You mean Moo's there?
Yeah. Knock, knock. Moo's there. Kicks in the door.
Don't sit on the couch.
So CW, I would really like this explored more.
Yeah.
Can we have an episode of Legends of Tomorrow, at least where they go to that time period? We figure out, like...
I think you could really milk it.
That's a load of bull.
Hey! Oh!
Hip hop hooray.
Far beyond that moment. Usually do it after the ad.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Or did you want to buy you?
No.
Is it Logan want to buy you?
Sorry, what was the question?
I don't know. We already answered it.
Oh, we haven't gone to the next question.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Let's leave Instagram and cut on into Reddit.
Where everyone's nice and no one's ever mean.
Never, not even once. First question comes from the other doctor. It's Dr. Hoot.
Dr. Hoot.
Hoot, 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 hoot. Who else? It's really top-notch comedy today. Dr. Hoot asks, prisons in the DC universe are pretty easy to break out of. Can you design an impenetrable, inescapable one that'd do a better job? Phantom Zone seems like cheating, and I would say Source Wall as well.
Yeah, we'll disqualify that sort of thing.
I feel like it's really management's the issue.
Okay, well, I end up answering lots of questions with, like, specific things that happen in comics. I want to turn this one over to you because it's very conceptual. Like, given anything that we've ever talked about in terms of DC, what sort of powers, materials, anything like that is out there, how do you build the perfect super prison?
Well, I think that the thing that keeps happening is that one, technology is never the solution.
Sure.
Because technology fails, right?
Yeah.
And you can't use, there's no physical barrier strong enough that, like, the strongest thing in DC, like,
there's always going to be something.
It's always
stronger.
something that's stronger. So I feel like you need to do something that's either like I think you need to take, like, somehow contain a hero's abilities and use that as a prison for people. So having somebody, like, be able to, like, capture something that will actually, like a prison of the mind, something like that.
Right.
I think is generally a thing that would probably do a little bit better.
Sure. For most, yes. How do you deal with the people that are mentally capable? You know,
well, even
Despero, Alpha Ak, Psycho Pirates,
Psycho Pirate.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Yar.
I would say that you just go the opposite of whatever their insanity is asking for, and I think that generally that will be the way to imprison them.
Right. Isn't the idea usually that you give them exactly what they want, like you trap them in their dream?
Yeah. See, that would work.
Because that's the thing that, like, in the sort of 80s, 90s, that JLI run, Martian Manhunter gives this thing called the Mayavana to Despero, to his arch enemy. and it's a mental illusion so powerful you can only give it once.
Yeah.
So on Mars they used to give it to the people they loved, but he gives it to his greatest enemy, and what Despero sees is him basically like killing Martian Manhunter over and over and over again forever.
But I mean,
He does ultimately escape that, so it's a bad example, I guess.
I also kind of think that like we're dancing around the solution here, which is like you can't like keep them somewhere, kill them. like
yes, I have deliberately been dancing around that.
Because I feel like, I mean, if you're just gonna capture them in like literally they have no life anyways, just fucking end it.
Right.
Stop using resources and taxpayer dollars.
I mean, it's tough to extrapolate this to a world of super people.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about...
In the real world, that logic doesn't work because it's actually considerably more expensive to execute someone.
Well, also just
and
like...
the odds of you getting it wrong and all these things. And I mean, some of that still applies to super people, that there's a certain level of like, actual like judicial rigor that like... You know, especially with powers and people that can manipulate minds, the fact that anyone is charged with anything, because like the reasonable doubt, there's always a reasonable doubt that someone is mind controlling you if there's a bunch of people on Earth that can mind control.
Yeah.
So like even just the idea that anyone has made it to prison is called into serious question. Like our legal system cannot handle that world.
But I mean, that brings up a whole other conversation of just about like prison in general, where I'm mostly like generally anything that's like super heinous, I'd say 99% of the time, in real world, the person has a mental illness and
they require
like
something else.
I don't think there's very many like bad people. I think people make bad decisions and need to be put in prison so that they can learn from them. But I think that like anything
I see where you're coming.
Anything that's like super egregious, I feel like it's probably stemmed from a mental illness, and like it shouldn't just be like you should just get rid of them, because it's like, well, there clearly is a problem that we haven't gotten advanced enough to be able to solve. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, trying to fix things that have already taken, like the idea of fixing is already like a thing. Yeah, we would be better served maybe putting our resources into like making our society better so that those things don't develop.
But also
so people don't become criminally insane.
But also coming up with like systems that can help repair whatever the damage is.
Sure,
that's done, right? Because I don't think there's anybody who's instinctually evil. There's no such thing as an evil person. That's a thing in comic books.
I think, and we brought it up before, and it's I mean, it's a bad version of something good that you are describing here, but I think it's the Indigo Tribe.
Yeah.
I think everyone in there, you flood them with the empathy and the compassion, the understanding that what they did was wrong. I mean, that is a thing where you're forcing people into something, you're altering their mind. That is deeply ethically wrong. But again, we're talking about a world with superhumans where our legal system doesn't work anyway. The thing you're describing, like the closest thing in DC to that at all, is the Indigo Tribe.
Yeah.
Anything else is basically varying forms of torture.
Yeah.
Like or something even less humane, like stranding them on an alien planet and leaving them to die and like not sending supplies or anything. There's a lot of fucked up shit there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep, there's no way to answer that in a good way.
No, there really is. And, again, because it's like it also has to be a revolving door because you need your villains to come back because it's comics. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, once you start like picking that apart, like what is the system that actually like deals with it? Then you go like, well, fuck.
Ooh, yeah, we're all fucked then.
Like
all right, well, let's go to the last question, which is from the Cray Ghost. That goes Cray.
Ain't it, Jay? What's she on?
Fish fillet.
That whip so cold. This so thick.
I knew it was coming.
Act like you never been around motherfucking like this again.
I knew it was coming. I was just waiting for it.
It's a very long drop.
Yeah. Who asks, outside of super prisons like Salvation or the Phantom Zone, what attempts have been made to improve inmate retention in the DCU? Right. Can anything be done without disturbing the catch-escape nature of superhero comics?
Sure. So, yeah, this question even acknowledges, like, they can't stay in there forever. It's not how comics work. Salvation, just for reference, is the name of that planet that they had exiled.
I do like that they call it prisoner retention, which is hilarious.
Yeah, prisoner retention feels like one of those things where it's like sort of Orwellian cleansing of words, like prisoner retention, as opposed to like, like strapped to the board.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like,
We're not capturing them. We're using retention tactics.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that help with that? I mean, there are devices and things that dampen meta abilities. And if you watch, The Flash on TV, there's like a meme out there which is just like, someone has powers, and then Cisco walks in and says, I made a burn dampener. But there is an element of that in DC. I guess you would say on like a more like administrative level, it's like better like record keeping, right? Like someone has to. This is where the sort of shadow government organization thing, like of Amanda Waller, comes in. Someone who watches the heroes and be like, "Oh no, I know what you're weak against. Mentally, I know what you're weak against. Physically, I know what all of these things." Almost like that Batman contingency plan kind of thing. So you'd be like, at the very least, you put a Green Lantern in a yellow room. Then they can get out. Yellow's not an impassable weakness for them anymore, but that would be the attempt, right?
Yeah.
Or the red sun lamps for Superman, or things like that. I think generally it's technological. I think the odd place has tried some sort of hypnotherapy or those kind of things to varying degrees of failure. And yeah. I mean, really, it's mostly about technology, but it depends on the powers, right? Because not everyone is a meta-human. You can't always you can't just be like, this suppresses a gene. Great. Because sometimes people,
they're just super smart.
Or they're elemental, like Swamp Thing, but you can trap Swamp Thing if there's no way for him to connect to the green, or you can, in a comic book, make a lot of things happen, or use magic and sorcery, or combine things so that, where one thing has a bit of a blind spot, the other thing catches it. If you have some sort of combination of technology and sorcery, you got a better shot, right? It's about mixing those things together. So
why don't we try using our words?
I mean, we have been for 118 episodes.
And I'm still not going to listen.
And we're not good at this.
No. Definitely not. Well, you know who might be?
Who?
The person who left us a voice message. Let's find it.
Yeah, let's have it.
Hey guys, just Stump Chunkman here. Step into the stump. Stump Chunkman. Blah! But anyway, my Dial H for this week is Opening Day Man, because I'm super excited for Endgame coming up this weekend. So if he hears that a movie that he wants to come out, then I say it's like next year, next week, whenever, he dials H on his cell phone that he found, and he's able to time travel to whenever the opening day of the movie is, watch the movie, and then
wow, what a self-serving superhero ability.
So specific.
Yeah. Opening Day Man. He can just go to literally only for movies.
But you know what? That's good, because he doesn't have like delusions of grandeur. There's no like aspiration to political power there. It's literally just, this is a thing I like. This is how I can achieve it. I respect that.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Well,
what a great intro to
Dial Doc. So if you're confused by what just happened, we're stepping into the Dial Doc segment of the episode, which is harkening back to an old and now rebirthed comic book series called Dial H for Hero, where a random person would come upon wow, you're really desperate right now. You're just looking for anything. So a random person would come upon a payphone and dial hero or villain into the payphone, and would get randomly turned into a hero or a villain for a certain amount of time. So every week we try to come up with our own hero or villain to varying results. I will go first as we want to just keep as much time before the doctor has to do his amazing one that he's been waiting all episode.
I have one.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay, go.
Mine is called Rewards Card.
Really just masking where you're getting these from, eh? It's called Stuff I Found in My Wallet.
It's called Piece of Lynch.
That sounds like a Tick villain.
Yeah, it does. This one's called Rewards Card. And basically, you dial H, you would turn into a rewards card. And the thing would be, you would have to, whether you were a good person or not, when you dialed it, you would have to complete like 5 good deeds to then get whatever, like, a particular good deed wish for yourself. So
Wow, okay.
So you'd be like,
It's transaction of good deeds.
Yeah, I helped someone cross the street. 1 punch or stamp or like a rewards card. And then once you filled all 5 slots, you'd be like, I wish for a Corvette, and then you'd get it. So you can get your wish once you complete your quota of good deeds.
Okay,
that's rewards card.
That's like I like that. That's nice. That's
once again somehow taking a shitty idea and making it okay.
Yeah. It was okay. Yeah,
I think that's my power.
Sure, yeah.
That's what I did with this podcast.
Really, I could have said the same thing.
Okay, so what's yours?
Mine.
What's yours, big man?
Mine is. It's so stupid. Mine is Eastern Bunny.
Oh no.
It's just an Eastern European rabbit who's able to throw out eggs that have different capabilities. So one
are they Eastern European abilities? Like
no, just
the smell of cabbage.
No. He is Eastern Bunny. And he throws out a bomb egg and net egg.
Sure,
and,
yeah. He's got trick eggs. Yeah.
Yes, that's the. Yeah.
Is he an actual like anthropomorphic rabbit, or just like a guy dressed as a rabbit?
No, giant anthropomorphic rabbit.
Eastern Bunny.
And people are like, "It's the Easter Bunny." He's like, "No, you stupid kid! I am Eastern Bunny." Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, that's right, Easter Bunny." No, I am Eastern Bunny.
That was like that was originally. They pitched a family film starring Viggo Mortensen as like a mafia cleanup guy.
Hey, I'm the Eastern Bunny.
I am Eastern Bunny. I normally cut fingers, but today I have to deliver joy to kids.
Usually I hide bodies, but today I hide eggs.
Yeah, and they were like, I think the script needs a rework, and then they came up with Eastern Promises. Eastern Bunny.
Usually I cover bodies in molten lava, but today I cover eggs in chocolate.
In molten lava?
Yeah.
Where?
It's good abilities to get stuff. Don't fucking poke holes in it.
Eastern Bunny and rewards card.
Eastern Bunny.
And opening day man. Those are the 3 that we've got for today. Thank you, Stump Chunkman, for sending that on the dock phone.
Absolutely.
We want to hear yours though.
Absolutely. All you have to do is if you're going to go through the digital platforms, all you have to do is use the hashtag DialDoc.
That's right.
And reach out to us. Give us your hero. Give us your villain. Maybe somewhere in between. Maybe he's a bad guy, but he wants to do good. Maybe he's a good guy, but he does bad ways. Ooh, that's right. Or you just maybe want to ask us a question for the next week's episode.
Yeah.
Which is
next week's episode, because it's a 5th week in May. We're going to be talking about DC's old sort of 5th week thing, Tangent Comics.
Wow. Good.
I wish I could take credit for this idea. This was not my idea.
Oh, you could have. Nobody was questioning it.
Edit this out then.
Just like the other thing.
Yes.
And nobody knows about because it was edited out. Well, thank you. Where did you get it from?
Josh Gill.
Oh. Yeah, that's fair. He's part of the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not going to edit it out.
You bastard. So next week we're talking Tangent Comics. So send your questions for that. We're going to be talking about the Tangent universe.
So is that like, oh, and then Superman one day was flying and he passed this blue planet. Actually, this blue planet is actually really interesting because it was
yeah. It's just you can't follow the narrative.
Yeah.
It was basically like DC's version of like What If. It was just like a alternate, like completely different.
Oh, cool.
Stories
nice.
Of characters. Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
So ask your questions about that, or you can nerd out with us just about anything DC or nerdy related or whatever. Or how do you have feelings about Robert Pattinson? Talk to us about it.
No, fine. Talk to us about it.
Or not. Jesus Christ. Or comment under one of the socio-political comments that the Doctor gets angry and posts every once in a while.
You know what? This is a time for that. I regret nothing.
You get real pissy lately.
Well, yeah, I'm letting people know that they're stupid fuckers if they're stupid fuckers.
That's what Twitter's for.
Stop taking away people's human rights. I won't call you a stupid fucker.
So if you want to get called a stupid fucker, all you have to do is reach out to us on our Twitter.
At Dr. DC.
Oh, Facebook.
Dr. DC Podcast.
Email.
DrDCPodcast@gmail.com.
Our subreddit.
r/Dr_DC.
Or our Instagram.
Dr. DC Podcast.
Didn't know what was coming.
I don't like this.
Of course, don't forget that you can also reach out to us on our website.
DrDCPodcast.com or .ca.
We got some merchandise. We got some...
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch. We've also got some articles from years ago that you can read. And of course, as you've already heard, the doc phone is open.
That's right.
All you have to do is call us at 208-917-3238.
It's 208-917-DCEU.
Yeah, DCEU. Also, of course, give us a review. We'd prefer it on iTunes, but actually, I'd love it anywhere. If you've already given us a review on iTunes, go somewhere else. We're at 28 reviews. We have 2 more until we do our video episode, and I'm actually in the process of buying gear so we can do that episode. So
handwrite a review on the chalkboard or whiteboard at your school,
and take a photo,
and send it to us.
Or you know what, at your workplace, I'm sure there's like a cork board or like a
insert a slide into your PowerPoint presentation to your boss that is a review of our podcast.
Oh my god!
And take a photo and send it to us.
Did somebody die recently? Did you have to give them like a
slideshow
or like a card? Like
I will remember you. Is that a review for a podcast?
In like a card to a loved one who's lost some member of their family. No. Right in. I'm sorry this happened. You should listen to the Dr. DC podcast.
Insert a 5-star review for us into the eulogy you're delivering, and have someone record it and send it to us.
That's right. Do you work at a grocery store and have to make announcements? That's a wonderful platform to be able to give us a review.
Yeah.
Apples are now on sale on aisle 5. Also, the Dr. DC podcast is a 5-star podcast.
Yeah.
Available on iTunes.
Yeah.
If you have proof of any of that,
I mean that 100% counts if there's proof of any of those. Some of those are in poorer taste than others,
but I mean, you are going to go in the pantheon of residents.
If you are about to become a parent and you name your child 5-star review of Dr. DC podcast, not only will we read it on air, not only will it count, I will send you some free merch and stuff.
Yeah, without a doubt.
If you manage to legally name your child, we'll need a copy of the birth certificate.
Gonna need proof.
Yeah.
Are you going for your master's degree? Write a thesis about the Dr. DC podcast. Yeah. Within it, giving us a 5-star review, of course.
Is your name like Dennis Crawford? Do you have a PhD? Publish a paper that is a review of our podcast, and it's also from a Dr. DC.
Holy
and that will count.
Shit.
Yeah.
Not unlike the Dr. DC that we got our social media accounts from that I slowly convinced.
A legitimate doctor.
Yes, an actual doctor.
I mean, I'm a legitimate doctor. What?
Huh? Still haven't gotten the
At any rate, the
in.
point we're trying to make is the possibilities are endless.
Yes, including endless possibilities. Our Patreon, which you never know what you're going to get.
Which is what you want from a paid subscription service.
Yeah. Quality? No.
Well,
content? Possibly.
Weekly? Yes.
Yeah, if nothing else, we're mostly consistent.
Yeah. It's patreon.com/DrDC. It's only $5 a month. You get a full bonus episode every week. They come out on Fridays.
That's right.
And we talk about DC stuff. We talk about Marvel stuff. We talk about music, movies, TV, games, like basically anything. The format is blown wide open for those. So yeah,
wide open.
With format wide open.
Wide open spaces.
We went to very different places there.
Rooms to make a big mistake.
Nice.
Well, that's it for this week. If you're subscribed to Patreon, we'll talk to you on Friday.
And otherwise, we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
That's right. Also, get on that Stitcher Premium. Use the promo code DC.
Why don't you get on that Stitcher Premium?
Oh, Wolverine for the Bayou folks think that'd be a really good idea. Use that promo code 2 letters at DC. You know what I mean? You like that right now? Ciao.
Adios.
the superheroes. They always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure. They are men of might.
You got them phone eyes. Choo choo. Chickadee chow.
Is that like 3.5
Chickadee
hours?
chow. The chow chow chicken. Chop a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. Watching X-Files with no lights on. Della Maison. I hope the smoking man's on this one.
Like I was sitting for I'm getting frantic.
I said a damn chick.
Let's speak to to satisfy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.